There's 4. There's that one. And there's 3 more right down to the left. On out there. It's all does though. They're starting to move. So that's a good sign. And I think they'll all get up in here, be some good decoys. They'll stay in here for a while and not get a wind or nothing. Could be a buck back here. Just kind of watching. That's what you want this time of year. You want these does in here. So we've already seen 5, so that's pretty good. Yeah, nice big old spike buck here. You say, why'd you shoot that? Well, one, I only got yesterday and today to hunt here at home. I needed to get a deer for my freezer because, you know, I'm getting ready to go on a trip here for the next 4 weeks, and a lot of times when I go on a trip, I'm going to be gone that long. The deer that I do shoot, since I am trophy hunting, a lot of times I give them away. So I need to get a deer for my house and my freezer. And 2, I'm not trophy hunting. I'm just deer hunting. I'm just out here deer hunting. Just a first legal buck. I'm in a buck only county where you can only shoot a buck, and so the first legal buck that I can take, I wanted to be able to take it. Actually, this is the first muzzleload buck that I've shot in over 10 years because I moved to Missouri and I was out there for about 10 years and didn't muzzleload hunt hardly any because of the way the seasons were out there, and I never got a chance to. So this is not trophy hunting, just deer hunting. Now, you know, a lot of you out there, I know in the day and the age we live in, I'm guilty of it myself. You know, being on social media and a YouTuber, a lot of times we forget the average guy or lady that's just out there to fill their freezer, just to kill a deer. You know, you ain't into trophy hunting. You don't care if it's a 10-pointer. You don't care if it's a 130 class deer. You don't care if it's a, you know, you don't care. You just out there, you know, you only got a limited time to hunt. You only got maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe it's just Saturday. Maybe the work schedule you are. You just don't get a lot of time to hunt. So maybe an entire season you only have maybe 4 or 5 days to hunt in a 3 or 4 week season. So you got to try to, you know, you want to kill a deer. You want to get out there and have fun. You want to fill your freezer up. So a lot of times we forget that person, and I'm guilty of it, and I apologize for it because we're all thinking about where we could go to kill another buck, big buck, whatever. Now I'm leaving tomorrow, going to a 4 week road tour, and I'm going to be big buck hunting. I'm going to be after a 130, 140, 150 class buck. But you know, a lot of times, like I said, we forget the person that can't do that. You don't have the luxury of going to a place and traveling. You don't have the luxury of even hunting around a place where it's got a lot of big deer. I can tell you, there's just not a lot of big deer in this area because they get so much pressure, and the way the game laws are set up, it's terrible that you can only shoot a buck. So all these bucks like this get pressured so much because you want to, a guy like you, hey, we want to kill a deer. We want to put something in the freezer. So the first legal buck they see, they're going to shoot. So they just don't get a chance to be big around here unless you own land and your neighbors is on the same page you are. Then maybe you could do something, but that ain't what we got here. But anyways, we don't ever want to forget that average person. We don't ever want to forget that average guy or gal that wants to go out there and just shoot a deer. So I'm going to give you 2 quick things, what I did today and what you can do to help you fill a deer tag pretty quick. If you ain't got just a limited time to hunt, here's the things I do to go in and kill one pretty quick. Okay, number 1, hunt the fence lines. I'm actually beside the neighbor's fence. Well, this fence goes all the way around, but I hunt the fence lines. Now, I'm not going to get right on his fence. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get right up. But I was about 70 yards when I shot this deer. I was about 70 yards, 75, 80 yards off the fence line. And I'm sitting here watching this fence going across. There's a big thicket right behind me. As you can tell, there's a big thicket right behind me. These deer are coming out of this thicket, and because of the pressure, they're coming out of this thicket, being run out of this, on this side, running out, going across this little opening, this little old top field here, going into another thicket. So when you have two thickets and you got a little field beside them two thickets, that's a great place to ambush one, because to get from one thicket to another, they got to cross that field, just like this one did. They got to cross that field. Okay, now we're not talking about shooting a trophy 150 class buck. We're talking about just shooting a deer, just some kind of a deer for you to take home with you. So hunt the fence lines. When there's pressure, like, you know, gun season, muzzleload season, I can tell you here in Virginia, there is a big muzzleload group of guys that muzzleload. It's actually more popular than rifle season. So a lot of pressure, a lot of people out hunting. So when you have that pressure, whether it's muzzleload or rifle season, whatever the case, you want to hunt near that fence lines at least the first 2 or 3 days of season. That way you can get the traffic coming off of that neighbor onto you. Whether it's a small piece of property, it doesn't matter. They got to come over through there sometime or another. Number 2, and this is so important, hunt where the does are at, especially if you're hunting in a county. If you live in Virginia or Kentucky or someplace where it's a buck only county, you know, some counties are buck only like this one, then you got to shoot a buck. You got to shoot something where, you know, it's got 3 inches or greater antlers before it's legal. So if you're going to specifically hunt a buck, you want to hunt where the does are at. Yesterday, there was all kinds of does in here. I mean, from about daylight all the way to about 10 o'clock, it was just doe after doe after doe after doe. All right, so when you find a place like that, you want to hunt where the does are at. You want to hunt where they're at. Why? Because it's the rut. It's getting close to the rut. They're cruising. They're looking, just like this one was. He's out there looking. And so if it's not pressure, they're out there looking. So hunt where the does are at. And a lot of times you will kill a big buck like that, or you'll kill a buck in general. So hunt where the does are at. Don't get off just, you know, oh, I like that ridge up there because it looks pretty. It doesn't matter if it looks pretty or not. You're not going to kill deer just because it looks pretty in a place. You got to get to a place where the does like to be, you know. So that's where you want to spend the majority of your time. Sit there longer, sit there and be patient. This deer didn't come out till a little after 10 o'clock. Sit there and be patient, because that's when things will happen. So if you're just looking to kill a deer quick, I'm just talking about a legal buck. I'm just talking about a deer you put in your freezer. Hunt the fence lines, hunt where the does are at, and eventually you're going to kill something. And so just something to remember. If you don't have a lot of time and you got a quick hunt you got to do, try that and it'll pay off for you eventually. And make sure to subscribe to this channel. Just hit that subscribe button down in the corner. I'd really appreciate it. And follow me here. It's going to get good the next 3 or 4 weeks. I'm going to be on the road big buck hunting the next 3 or 4 weeks. And hopefully we'll have a couple of big ones and videos coming here soon. So it's getting right, getting good. Make sure to subscribe and stay with me all year long. Watch all the turkey videos, and you know, that's kind of what we're known for, is turkey hunting. We love deer hunt too. Check out my sponsors. Check out Tidewe. Man, if you ain't checked out their backpacks, really great backpacks, really comfortable, and I've really enjoyed using this backpack. So we're using the Tidewe gear. This is Tidewe backpacks, also the Tidewe boots. If you need some boots, footwear, backpacks, clothing, check out Tidewe.com. And the link in the description. A lot of great products. Also the Tidewe blind that we're using, really great blinds. So check them out. Check out SpringfieldCustomCalls.com. Just all my sponsors down in the links below. Just check them out, and we appreciate all those that's helping us and seeing the channel growing. Sponsors that's coming on board. But anyway, appreciate all of y'all, and stay tuned for more great videos coming in the weeks to come. And we're going to get this deer out of here and put him in the freezer. And then tomorrow we're going to be hitting the road toward Indiana to start our buck tour. So we'll see you in the next video.